Oh man, how y'all feeling? Listen, man, I hope everybody is blessed, man. Listen, I want to just take the time out to just say a quick prayer. God, man, we thank you for blessing us this morning, waking up and blessing us to see another day. God, I pray that you use me as a vessel to speak to your people, God. I pray that your words be my words, God. I pray that your thoughts be my thoughts. I pray that whatever you want me to say, like I say it, not what I want to say, but what you want me to say, God. God, I pray that you continue to bless us to see many more birthdays and many more mornings and continue to live within you, God. Like you continue to live within us and we yield our life to you, God. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. All right, man. Listen, I hope y'all are blessed, man. Listen, I want to tell you like the secret sauce to your life being fulfilled, to your journey being fulfilled is obedience and belief. Right? I just want to start right there for a minute. Like the journey, like the like your secret sauce to your life is obedience and belief. Right? I just want you to take a moment to just say like obedience and belief, y'all. Like I'm telling you, that's gonna be the secret sauce that's gonna separate you, right? That's gonna get you into the kingdom. That's gonna help you like live a better, fulfilling life. That's gonna be the answer. That's gonna be the key to unlock all the blessings God got for you. Yeah. Like that's gonna be the key to unlock all the blessings that God has for you. Like those, like that gonna be the key. I really want to keep reiterating that because like that is so important, y'all. And I was reading the story when Moses sent the Israelites to Canaan to go check out the land that was flowing with milk and honey, right? When God told Moses to tell the Israelites to go check that land out in Canaan, right? And then the land was flowing with milk and honey. I want to tell you once again, the key to unlocking God's blessing, all the blessing that God has for you, is obedience and belief. And 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 I was like, man, like I didn't know obedience and belief was like so critical on the journey, right? Cause like that can determine whether God gonna bless you or whether God gonna say, nah, you ain't ready. Right? Like I'm telling you that's gonna determine whether God gonna say, is this person ready for my blessing or nah, this person not ready for the blessing. Obedience and belief. Write that down. I want y'all to take some notes today. Like I want you to take some notes today. I want you to write down obedience and belief, y'all. So it's gonna be three things we're gonna take from this, right? We're gonna be three things we're gonna take from this message. Environment. I need you to get around believers. I need you to get around like people that believe. I need you to get around people that has faith. I need you to get around God fearing people. I need you to get around visionary people, right? Environment gonna be so important. Number two, God don't lie. I want you to understand that too. When God show you something like that's what it is. If God told you you're gonna build a multi-million dollar business, you're gonna build a multi-million dollar business. I'm not saying there's not going to be adversity, but if God told you you're going to build a multi-million dollar business, then that's what it is. If God told you you're gonna be a multi-millionaire, that's what it is. If God told you you're gonna get healthy, even if the doctor told you like you're gonna be sick, that's just what it is, right? I'm not saying you're not gonna face adversity, but God don't lie. That's number two. And the last one, y'all, obedience and belief. So it's three things we're gonna take from this, right? I need y'all to write this down. I need y'all to write down environment, God don't lie, and then obedience and belief, right? Because like those are the things we're gonna take from this to message today, right? When I was reading, I say, oh my God, like when I was reading this, I say, God, this is so good. I say, God, this is so good because like so many people don't even understand like this simple thing. It's simple, but it's not easy, right? Obedience and belief. And as I think about on my journey, like the reason why God has blessed me this far, the reason why God keep blessing me, the reason why God keep opening up so many doors is two things, y'all: obedience and my belief system. I be obedient to his word even when I don't understand it. I be obedient even if I don't I don't get it or I don't agree with it all the time, right? You don't agree with your parents all the time, but you just do what they tell you to do, right? And belief, my belief system, my faith I have. Like, listen, bro, you got to have some type of faith coming from $400 a month, coming from your credit card being maxed out, having two kids at 17, like at a very young age, parents didn't really have much. You sleeping in your mama patio, like you have to have some type of faith to believe you can become a multimillionaire. Like, and you don't even make 6 figures a year. You feel me? Like I don't even make 6 figures a year, y'all. I don't make that, right? But my faith and belief in God, because God told me you're going to build a multi-million-dollar business and you're gonna have that $300,000 company in passively from your stock portfolio. God told me that. So like my obedience and my belief got me believing like I don't care if I'm making 40,000, I don't care if I'm making 30, I don't care if I'm making $6,000 a year. I am going to build that multi-million-dollar business and I'm going to get that multi-million-dollar portfolio. Right? Because my belief system, my obedience in God, like it's just unmatched. Like, because I know number 2, like we wrote down, like God don't lie. And if God showed me that through a vision, God told me that, God said, you're going to change so many lives with your speaking ability. You're going to like help so many people with the stock market and buy the, and start generational wealth. Like God showed me that you're going to speak to so many schools. You're going to help so many people, right? God told me that and God showed me that and God don't lie. So regardless of what my life look like, regardless of what the current situation look like, I'm not going to let my current situation dictate my future. Right? I want to know how many of you right now are letting your current situation dictate your future. How many of you are letting the current things you're going through overpower what God told you? How many of you today are letting the current situation overpower the things that God told you? Listen, I understand you got bad credit, right? But if God told you you're going to buy you a house, you're going to buy you a house. I understand you might not understand like God, how am I gonna make this investment? I never made an investment in my life. Listen, that when you're looking at it through your eyes, everything seems impossible. But when you walk with the Spirit, when you get with God, nothing's impossible. And you just believe even when you don't know. Like you just believe, like even if you don't understand it, you just believe, even if like you just believe. Like when God tell you something, right? You ever had this person in your life where like they word just means so much to you, like they just such a credible person in your life, and when they tell you something, like even if you don't agree with it, you don't see it right now, you just believe it because they just so credible. Like God should be there in your life. Like whatever, like God should be so credible in your life. Like even if you don't see it or understand it, like you should just be like, man, God told me that, so that's what it's gonna be. Right? I'm not gonna let nothing overpower God. Right? I'm not gonna let my adversity overpower what God told me, because God's word is more powerful than anything. His word and his touch, his emotions, his decision, his thoughts, his word, like all of that overpower anything that's going on in my life. And also, I understand that the things that's going on in my life could be just a prerequisites for the vision. Yeah. Like that can be just a prerequisite for what God want me to do. Like because you can't, like God can't build you if you never go through nothing. Right? The reason why people become stronger in the gym and lifting weight because of the resistance they have to push against. Right? And if you want to become stronger, you're gonna have to be some resistance in your path. And you're gonna have to push against it to get strong on the other side. Yep. Like that's just how it's gonna work. And so I wanna start in Numbers chapter 13, y'all. I want to start there in verse 2. So the Lord said to Moses, send some men to explore the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the Israelites. From each ancestral tribe, send one of its leaders. Right? So I'm gonna read it again. God said to Moses, send some men to explore the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the Israelites. From each ancestral tribe, send one of its leaders. Right? So God is telling Moses, like, listen, go talk to the Israelites and send them to Canaan. To the watch this, y'all. Watch this. I'm gonna slow it down so y'all can understand what I'm saying. Send some men to explore the land of Canaan, which I am giving. You see what God say? God say, which I am giving to the Israelites. I told y'all to write it down. God don't lie. Hey, this is already getting good for me, right? God don't lie. God say, send the men to explore the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the Israelites. He said, which I am giving. Listen, God already said, it's already done. I'm telling you, what God has told you he gonna do for you, it's already done. Right? I'm gonna tell you something else. Like it's never God, it's always us problem. It's never God. It's always us. It's always human emotions, adversity, the situation, the circumstance. Like it's always us. We let the situation, the circumstances stop us from what God told us. God told the Israelites, listen, I am giving the land to them. Right? God don't lie. God don't lie. What are we talking about? He say, sin which I am giving to the Israelites from each ancestral tribe, send one of its leaders. So Moses sent, like, from each tribe, he sent a leader, uh, sent one of the leaders to explore the land, right? He sent one of the leaders to explore the land. Um, and then we're gonna skip to verse 17. He said, when Moses sent them to explore Canaan, he said, go up through the Negev and onto the hill country, see what the land is like, and whether the people who live there are strong or weak, few or many, what kind of land they live in. Is it good or is it bad? What kind of town do they live in? Are they unwell or fortified? How's the soil? Is it fertile or poor? Are there trees in it or not? Do your best to bring back some of the fruit of the land. So they went up and explored the land from desert of Zin as far as Rehob toward Lebo Hamath. They went up through Negev and came to Hebron, where Ahaman, Shishai, and Talmud, the descendants of Anak, lived. When they reached the valley of Eshcol, they cut off a branch bearing in a single cluster of grapes. Two of them carried in a pole between them, along with some pomegranates and figs. The place was called the Valley of Eshcol because of the cluster of grapes that the Israelites cut off there. At the end of the 40 days, they returned from exploring the land. So they went through all that and they seen all that. So at the end of the 40 days, they came back and returned to the from exploring the land, right? So they came back to Moses and Aaron and the whole Israelite at Kadesh and Desert Paran. And then they reported to them, to the whole assembly, and showed them the fruit of the land. They gave Moses this account. Guess what he said? He said, we went into the land you sent, it does flow with milk and honey there. Okay. So Israelites are like, listen, we went to the land and we did see like it's flowing with milk and honey. I mean, like, I want you to take the time to reflect, like, how many times God has showed you the vision that is plain and clear. God is showing them, like, listen, this is the land, and they said themselves, it's flowing with milk and honey. This is the land that God told, like, the land of Canaan. Like, this is what God told they're gonna get to the Israelites. God say, listen, this land is for you. Right? The vision is for you. The business is for you. The investment is for you. Like the health is for you. Like how many? Like God now showed you already. And now it's up to your belief system where it's going to determine if you're going to be able to obtain it or not. Right? Because now we got to tap into our belief. Now we got to tap into our belief. They gave Moses this account. We went to the land. Y'all, come on, man. They said they went to it, like they seen it. They say, yeah, bro, it's flowing with milk and honey. He said, watch this. Oh my God. He said, but the people who live there are powerful. For one, I want to tell you, God don't lie. For two, like, y'all don't let the adversity stop you from what God told you. He are letting the fact that he talking about these people, which, listen, y'all, he just disregarded what God told him. He just disregarded what God showed him. They just disregarded everything and went to man. You done disregarded everything God done told you and went straight to man and went straight to, I lost my job. I don't have no money. I'm too fat. I ain't healthy enough. I ain't got no help. I ain't got the resources. Like I ain't got the connections you got. You done let all of that overpower what God done showed you, the land that's flowing with milk and honey. You done let all of that overpower all that. Watch this. He said, we went there, but the people who live there are powerful. And the cities are fortified and very large. We even saw descendants and Anak there, the Amalekites in the Negev, and the Hittites, Libusites, and the Amorites live in the hill country. And the Canaanites live near the sea and along the Jordan. Then Caleb silenced the people before Moses and said, we should go up there and take possession of the land, for we can certainly do it. But the men who had gone up with him said, We can't attack those people. They are stronger than we are, and they spread among the Israelites a bad report about the land they had explored. So now we're gonna get into the thing I'm talking about. What I told y'all to write down. Remember, I told y'all to write down the environment. God don't like an obedience and belief. So now this is the environment. So Caleb is like, listen, y'all, we can go up and take the land from them. But you got the other Israelites, they like, no, bro, these people can't attack these people. They way stronger, way bigger than us. Like we can't go attack these people. We gonna lose. We done defeated. I'm here to tell you, like your environment gonna be either be conducive or gonna be harmful to your success. Either the people you hang around gonna help you thrive or help you like on a race to the bottom. Believe y'all. Who are you? Like who you have around? Like who are you hanging around? Like who is in your environment? Who is your circle of influence? Because they're gonna determine a whole lot. Because people can come around, people can go do something and just because they feel like they can't attack it because the adversity seems big in their eyes, they'll go try to build a business and come spread a bad report to you and say building a business can't be done. So you got to be careful who you hang around. You got to be careful who you listen to because the person you could be taking advice from could be a person that's living in fear. Your environment, who are you hanging around? Because watch this. I'm going to show you the type of people you need to be hanging around. Watch this. They say the land we explore devours those living in it. Watch it, y'all. You don't need, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. And watch this. He say the land we pass through and explore is exceedingly good. Watch it, y'all. If the Lord is pleased with us, he will lead us into that, a land flowing with milk and honey, and he will give it to us. Only do not rebel against the Lord and do not be afraid of the people of the land because we will devour them. Their protection is gone, but the Lord is with us. Don't be afraid of them. Right? This is Joshua and Caleb talking to the other Israelites. Like, listen, bro, the land we passed through and explore is exceedingly good. Right? Those two, like these same group of people, when they saw the same thing, but we had two different belief systems. One group is like, man, they too big. Like these people's of a great size. Like we look like grasshopper in their eyes, and they just got this disbelief in them about what God told them. They have let the adversity overpower the thing that God told them. But watch this. Then Moses and Aaron fell face down in front of the whole Israelite assembly gathered there. Joshua's son of Nun and Caleb's son of Jemini, who were among these who had explored the land, tore their clothes and said to the entire Israelite assembly, the land we passed through and explored is exceedingly good. If the Lord is pleased with us, he will lead us into that land, a land flowing with milk and honey, and he will give it to us. Only do not rebel against the Lord and do not be afraid of the people of the land, because we will devour them. Their protection is gone, but the Lord is with us. Do not be afraid of them, y'all. And y'all, this is in Numbers chapter 14, verse 7. Right? This is so you can go check that out for yourself. Right? This is in Numbers chapter 14, verse 7. Like two different belief systems, y'all. Like I'm telling you, your obedience and your belief gonna be the key to unlocking all the blessings that God has for you. Right? They all listen. The Israelites all went to go explore the land, but they came back with two different belief systems. One looked at the situation like, bro, these people are too big. The Caleb and Joshua like, bro, listen, God told me that that's our land. We got to go take it, and their protection is gone because we got God with us. Come on, man. I'm gonna say it again. He say their protection is gone, but the Lord is with us. Listen, the Lord with us. I don't care nothing about no Amalekites. Listen, God say this is my land. God say this is my land. Right? God say this is my land. God say this is my land. We're gonna go take over that. Like we're gonna go devour those people. Like we're gonna go crush those people. Why? Because their protection is gone and God is with us. I'm here to tell you, obedience and belief is gonna be the key to unlocking all the blessings that God has for you. He said, do not be afraid of them. Come on, man. Two different belief systems. I want to know who who you hanging around, your environment, because who depending on who you hang around going to determine like your level of success. Because you got a group of believers and you got a group of non-believers. You got a group of faithful people and you got a group of unfaithful people. You got a group of obedient people. You got a group of disobedient people. And you got to be able to choose your environment. And I need you to get around believers, obedient people, and people that have faith. I need you to get around though. I need you to change your environment today because they're gonna be so conducive to your level of success. So watch this, y'all. We're gonna keep reading. I just want to show y'all that it's not me, right? It's not me. We're gonna go to Numbers chapter 14, verse 11. He said, the Lord said to Moses, how long would these people treat me with contempt? How long would they refuse to believe in me, in spite of all the signs that I have performed among them? God is asking Moses, like, how long the Israelites gonna continue to contempt? How long they gonna continue not believing me? Like God is saying, listen, am I not the person who brought you, that freed you from the bondage of the Egyptians? Am I not the person who fed you the whole time along the journey and you went complaining because you didn't want no more manna? Right? You said they wanted meat. They went complaining because God was feeding them manna. They wanted some meat. Like, am I not the person who kept you fed and freed you from the bondage of the Egyptian? God said, like, how many times you are not going to believe in me? How many times how many times after all the signs I have showed you that I got you? How many times that God has showed you that he got you and you still don't believe? God really brought you from having 2 kids at a young age, bruh. From your credit card being messed up. Right? God done saved you. God done brought you from that teenage pregnancy. God has brought you from that abandoned building. God has brought you from your lights being cut off and you missing meals to feed your kids. What did you talk about? How many times God had to show you that he got you? And now God is telling you to go build that multi-million-dollar business and you scared. God is telling you to make that investment and you scared. God is telling you to go build that daycare and you scared. God is telling you to do so many things and he already showed you that, listen, like what I say can overpower anything. I don't care what the situation is. I don't care what it looked like. But for some reason on the journey, we forget of what God has done for us. Just like the Israelite has done what God has just like the Israelites have forgotten what God has done for them. They forgot. They forgot like God saved you from the bondage of the Egyptians. Like they forgot, y'all. And I know like some of us that's the thing on the journey. Like some of us we get to a point where we God done blessed us so much that we forgot that who blessed us. We get to a point where we forget. You forget that God has brought you this far. He ain't bring you this far just to drop you off here. God didn't bring them from the hands of the Egyptians just to drop them off here. He say, watch this. He say, how long would they refuse to believe in me in spite of all the signs I have performed among them? I will strike them down with the plagues and destroy them, but I will make you into a nation and greater and stronger than they. He say, watch this. So I want to skip down. Watch this, y'all. So I want to show y'all, this is about the obedience and belief. We're going to skip down to verse 22. He say, not one of those who saw my glory and signs I have performed in Egypt and in the wilderness, but the one who disobeyed me and tested me 10 times. Obedience, yeah, I'm telling you, the obedience. God say, not one of those who saw my glory and the signs I performed. So I'm not going to punish the people who saw my signs and the glory I performed. Like the people that had obedience. I'm not worried about those people because they had obedience. He said, but who disobeyed me and tested me 10 times, not one of them will ever see the land I promised an oath to their ancestors. Come on, man. Like you should be excited because I'm telling you, like obedience and belief are gonna be the key to unlocking all the blessings that God has for you. He said, but because he said, not one of those will ever see the land I promised them. I'm telling you, if you ain't got obedience and belief, y'all, I promise you, like whatever God promised you, whatever God said He got for you, you will not get it. You will not get it. Listen, I'm giving you the sauce, y'all. This is the secret sauce. Obedience and belief. Whatever God is telling you to do it and then believe in it. Obedience and belief. God say, not one of them will ever see the land I promised and owe to the ancestors. No one has treated me with contempt will ever see it. Like anyone that questioned me, anyone that didn't believe in me, anyone that had contempt in me will never see the land I promised to their ancestors. But because my servant Caleb has a different spirit and follows me wholeheartedly, I will bring him into the land he went to, and his descendants will inherit it. Come on, man. You should be excited. You should be excited because I'm giving you the game, like I'm giving you the sauce, obedience and belief. Watch this, because he said, watch this. But because my servant Caleb has a different spirit and follow me wholeheartedly, watch this. I will bring him into the land he went to, and his descendants will inherit it. That means like now his church is going to be blessed, all because of his obedience and his belief system. All because of his belief and his obedience and his belief system. God said, I'm going to give you the land and I'm going to bless your descendants with it. Come on, man. What you doing? Are you being an asset or liability to your descendants? Are you being an asset or a liability to your kids, to your grandkids, to your kid? Like, are you being obedient? Are you having a belief so you can be an asset to the people that come after you? Are you being obedient and having the belief system to where God can bless you with that land that's flowing with milk and honey? Listen, that was the thing that separated Caleb and Joshua from the other Israelites. God showed it to all of them, but the thing that separated them was their obedience and the belief. I'm showing y'all something, y'all. God has given all of us a vision. God has showed us all something. God has given all us a gift, but our obedience and our belief gonna separate us. That's why you have successful people and unsuccessful people. It has nothing to do with God. It's all about the human. It has something to do with your obedience and your belief. Because that's going to be the key to unlock the blessing that God got for you. Like, that's going to be the key. That's going to be the key to unlock the blessing God has for you. Obedience and belief. Watch this. We're going to skip to verse 30. He say, not one of you will enter the land I swore with a lifted hand to make your home, except Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, the son of Nun. Because those were the two. God say, won't nobody else enter this, but those two people who believed in me. Those two people that had obedience. Nobody but Joshua and Caleb. Nobody else will enter the land. Come on, man. I'm telling you. Listen, I want you today. If you haven't been obedient and if you haven't been believing, I need you today to make that shift. I need you to make that conscious decision to say, God, I'm going to be obedient and I'm going to believe in your word. Whatever you tell me to do, God, I'm going to do it. And whatever you show me, God, I'm going to have faith and believe in it, y'all. Listen, I'm giving you the sauce. I'm giving you the sauce. So number one, we seen the environment, y'all, because like depending on who you hang around, like because the people can come spread a bad word to you and mess up your whole faith and belief system. I don't need nobody talking negative around me. I don't need those other half of the Israelites that came back talking negative. I don't want those type of people around me. When I come tell you about my business plan, you like, who told you can build a business? I don't need you around me. I need Caleb and Joshua around me. The people like, yeah, we can go build that business. We can go attain those multi-million dollars. We can go build that stock portfolio. We can go teach 100 schools how to invest in the stock market. We can go have a $2 million life insurance policy. I want those type of people around me. When I tell them my vision, we can go get it, man. Let's go. Let's go. When I need those type of people around me, I need Joshua and Caleb around me. I'm here to tell you your environment gonna either be conducive or harmful to you. Environment, God don't lie, obedience and belief, y'all. I need y'all to write those three things down because this is the thing. Like I don't just want to like just really just preach to you. Like I want to teach. Right? I know how I told you I need you to take notes. I need you to write this down because this just ain't a sermon, y'all. This is like life changing stuff right here. Like this is the secret sauce. Obedience and belief. Listen, you got to get around some new people. You got to change your environment. And then when another thing, God don't lie. If God told you that, if God, whatever God told you, that's what it's gonna be. It's stamped. Listen, like how the young kids say, stamp that. You can stamp that. That's what it is. When God tell you something, it's stamped. God said you're gonna be successful. Stamp it. Stamp it. Number 3. But watch this. You got to have the obedience and belief to live up to the God don't lie thing. Right? Because God, regardless of what God told you, if you don't have the obedience and belief, that don't even matter no more. And I just showed you that with the Israelites, with Joshua and Caleb versus the other Israelites. Because one group that had obedience and belief in God denied them the whole blessing. Because I'm here to tell you, if God told you you're gonna be multi-millionaire, whatever it is, y'all, God told you gonna get healthier next year, like whatever it is, like whatever God told you, He don't lie, and you got to have the obedience and the belief system. You got to be obedient and believe. Watch this. Watch this. He say, as for your children that you said will be taken as plunder, I will bring them in to enjoy the land you have rejected. But as for you, your bodies will fall in the wilderness. Your children will be shepherds here for 40 years, suffering for your unfaithfulness. That's why I just asked y'all, are you going to be an asset or a liability to your descendants? Are you going to be an asset or liability to the people that's coming after you? Are you going to be an asset or a liability? But now, because these people, God is going to punish your kids for your unfaithfulness. God just told them, listen, for 40 years, your kid going to suffer here for your unfaithfulness. Is you going to be an asset or a liability to the people that are coming after you? You're going to be an asset or a liability because your action does reflect what your kids have to go through. As a parent, as a father, as a mother, as a leader, like you're like whatever you do does have a reflection on what your kids are going to suffer or going to have a leverage on in the future. Watch this. For 40 years, 1 year for each of the 40 days you explore the land, you will suffer for your sins and know what it's like to have me against you. I, as the Lord has spoken, I will surely do these things to this whole wicked community, which has banded together against me. They will meet there in this wilderness, and here they will die. So the men had sent the men Moses had sent to explore the land, who returned and made the whole community grumble against him by spreading a bad report about it. Listen, environment. The land was struck down and died of plague before the Lord. Of the men who went to explore the land, only Joshua, son of Nun, Caleb, son of Jephunneh, survived. Everybody else died. I'm telling you, the key to unlocking the blessing God has for you is obedience and belief. Obedience and belief, y'all. Like that's the thing I want us to focus on today, right? Environment. Number 1, environment. Number 2, God don't lie. And number 3, y'all, obedience and belief. Because that's going to be the thing that separates you. Because everybody else died. God brought like so much plague and destroyed the land. And only 2 people that survived were Joshua and Caleb because of their obedience and their belief system. Listen, if you want to separate yourself from the average people, you want to separate yourself and be God favored. If you want to be on the favor side of God, you're going to have to get in obedience and belief. You're going to have to believe, y'all. Like even after God showed them the land with it flowing with milk and honey, they went and seen it for themselves. They still denied the land. They still didn't believe. They still didn't believe in God. Like they still didn't, like they let the adversity overpower what God told them. And God, like, well, you might as well, like, you believe so much in the adversity, I'm gonna bring it to you. You got that. You got so much faith in adversity. That's what I'm gonna give you. They had so much faith in the Amalekites. They too big, or they are great size, and man, they gonna hurt us. They gonna listen. Listen, if God showed you that land is yours, but because of Caleb and Joshua belief system and their obedience, they was able to. Come on, man. Come on, man. I just want to teach right now. Because of their obedience and their belief system, like they was able to get the land that flowing milk and honey, and everybody else died. That was the thing that separated them. The key to unlocking the blessing God has for you is obedience and belief. Like this was so good. This was so good because, like, I know, like, so many of us, like, God has showed us so many things. God has told us so many things, and I get it. Like, sometimes our current situation don't allow us to believe the thing that God told us. And I'm here to tell you today, like, if you don't want the blessings, if you don't want that fulfilled life, if you don't want what God has for you, just be disobedient and don't believe. Like, just be disobedient, right? Listen, man, I'm telling y'all, bro. And I ain't just like, listen, I'm taking these principles and I had applied it in my life, and I'm telling you, y'all, it works. Like, it works. Like, I have took these same principles, obedience and belief, y'all, and it works. Like, I'm gonna give y'all a story real quick. So I went and spoke at Albany Tech my first time, y'all, for free. And not because that's what I wanted to do, but that's what God told me to do. Obedient. That's what God told me to do. Most people are like, bro, why you ain't getting paid? Why you gonna know, bro? This ain't environment. I don't need you around me. No, listen, God told me to do this for free. So I went and did it for free, y'all, and I gave it my all. I had the belief system and I was obedient. I gave it my all, y'all, because I wanted to teach those kids how to make money. I wanted to show them that you can build generational wealth. I don't care what your background look like. Look at me. I don't care what your background look like. I don't care if you don't got a 2-parent household. I don't care if you were raised up on a WIC. I don't care if you were raised up on a food stamp. You can build wealth too. And God put me here to show people and give them a something to believe in. Give them like. So watch this, y'all. I'm the land, like God. I'm the land that's flowing with milk and honey to the people. Like, God is showing you that it's possible. God showed the Israelites, listen, you can have this. It's there. They even came back and said it. It's flowing with milk and honey. Like, God just using me to show the people, like, you can do it. Because most of the situations that you probably complain about, I've been through. I have been through it, and I'm still on top today. Obedience and belief. So I went to go speak to the Albany Tech, and I did it for free. And I gave it my all, like I was getting paid for it. Long story short, y'all, they ended up calling me back. They ended up calling me back for another opportunity, but this time they wanted to pay me. This time they wanted to pay me, y'all. Obedience and belief. This time they wanted to pay me, right? So they paid me $250 to speak for an hour. They paid me $250 to speak for an hour. Okay, cool. I went and rocked out. Then they called me back again, y'all. They called me back again. Yes. Obedient belief. The land flowing with milk and honey. God is showing me the land that's flowing with milk and honey, right? Obedience and belief. So watch this. So then they called me back. This time I had to speak again, right? This time, y'all, they paid me $500 an hour. I did one class from 10 to 11, and I did another class from 11 to 12. That was $1,000 check I made in 2 hours. Come on, man. Coming from where I come from, I never thought making $1,000 in 2 hours was possible. And it ain't even work hard. And watch it. I didn't even work hard. I was doing something that I love. I was living in my gift and I was living in my purpose and using my gift. I was serving the people by pleasing God. Obedience and belief. Watch this, y'all. Then they just called me back for a 4th time. Come on, man. Oh, the land that's flowing with milk and honey. They just called me back again for a 4th time. Watch this. To speak to the faculty and staff this time. Come on, man. They want me to speak to the faculty and staff this time. And they still want to pay me the $1,000 to speak. Come on, man. Obedience and belief, y'all. I'm telling you, the key to unlocking all the blessings that God has for you is obedience and belief. But because I was so obedient and I believed in the vision, I believed in God's word, God has showed me the land that's flowing milk and honey. And I'm telling you, if you want your land that's flowing with milk and honey, you're gonna have to be obedient and you're gonna have to believe. You're gonna have to be obedient, you're gonna have to believe. So God, I thank you for this great message today, God. I pray and hope that the people receive it like I received it, God. Right? Because you are so worthy to be praised. Right? Like God, you are so awesome. Like I hope today, like the people yield unto you and give their life to you wholeheartedly, whole soul, whole mind. God, I pray that you continue to watch over us, God. I pray that you continue to bless us and bless our kids, God. I pray that you continue to like show us the way, God. Like continue to give us signs and help us when we don't understand, God, and pick us up when we fall short. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.